Hey guys, good morning. So we continue with the Q1 banking updates. So we're going to be covering 4 banks in this short video, starting with AU Small Finance Bank. Let's see how they did. So I have my copy with me. So I have written down the notes. So AU Small Finance Bank, AU Small Finance Bank is a bank that originated in Rajasthan. We all know that. And let's understand the breakup of the book. So 60% to 65% of their total loan book of AU Small Finance Bank is given to the Wheels segment and the small business loan segment. Wheels means in the commercial vehicle, two-wheeler, three-wheeler, and the tractor segment. उसको wheel segment बोलते हैं. And the largest portion of the book, which is the small business loan, जो है कि MSME and SME loans होते हैं. मतलब किराने का दुकान हो जाए, flower shops हो जाए, right? उस तरीके का है. So these two segments contribute to 60-65% of the book. 6 to 7% of the book is home loan, and the remaining part of the book is commercial banking. Commercial banking means यहाँ पे आपका business banking हो गया, agri banking हो गई, right? And they also have a personal banking. I'm a personal loan division. तो ये बनता है AU Small Finance Bank का loan book का breakup. Now, with this particular loan book, you also understand कि like AU Small Finance Bank is a bank catering more towards customers in the SME MSME sector, जो कि बहुत ही अच्छा कर रहे हैं ये sector after COVID, right? So AU का जो update आया है, that's pretty good actually. So the advances are up 8%. Advances means the loan book, it grew 8% on a quarter-on-quarter basis and 29% on a YOY basis. And of course, the management added a bit of note saying like inflation is slowly easing out, yet the inflationary pressure is still out there, right? I mean, we all saw, right, like the RBI did not increase repo rates, right, in the last RBI meet, correct? That also shows like the inflationary pressure is coming off, yet inflationary prices, like if you look at CPI, it's still at a higher rate. So that's more or less about it. And I think there was some other update on AU that the CASA ratio has come down, and it looks like a bigger difference when the number has come down, because there was some outflow of some government savings, but the bank considers that it is part of their normal day-to-day business. Now let's move on to CSB Bank, right? Now CSB Bank एक South Indian based bank है. Now CSB Bank अगर देखोगे, CSB Bank को आप बोल सकते हो it's a gold loan based bank, because if you see CSB Bank का total book size is 21,000 crore, out of which 44 to 45% is only the gold lending division. And I think the gold lending division now out of 21,000 crore अगर हिसाब करोगे तो around 10,000 crore के आसपास आता है, right? So if you see the book as a whole grew 30% on a YOY basis. So CSB Bank has also done pretty well, right? AU grew 29% YOY. CSB ka advances grew 30% on a YOY basis. The gold loan division is also doing pretty well. The gold loan division grew 41% on a YOY basis, right? So what are the other divisions of this particular bank? Is the other divisions are 2 divisions. One is the SME division, which is again the SME MSME small business loan division, and the third largest division is the corporate banking division. Okay, but they lend out to mid and small corporates. But here is the thing, that if you analyze CSB Bank, you will understand that they are trying to become a pan-India bank from only a south-based bank, and going forward in the next 2 to 4 years, they're going to diversify the book in a way like SME and retail. So retail is a big part. So I missed out on retail. Retail contributes the remaining 15-20%, right, of the whole book. So retail, so gold loan is 45%. उसके बाद आपका आता है SME, corporate, and then comes retail, right? Now the bank is pushing for more and more retail lending. That's why they are setting up more branches, hiring more people, right? It's more like the bank is the bank is in a transition stage, CSB Bank. So that's why the bank, it's a very exciting prospect as well, right? So ये बनता है CSB Bank, nothing else to complain. Even the deposits went up by 20% on a YOY basis, right? So that's the whole story of CSB Bank. Now come to HDFC Bank. Highly disappointing. And again, highly disappointing when I know the problem kya hai, right? So HDFC Bank, now that you know it is merged with HDFC Limited, the merged entity ka the loan book growth is only 13% on a YOY basis. Now you have to understand this why, right? Because HDFC Limited ka book is 7 lakh crore. HDFC Limited is a home loan ka book of HDFC Bank, of HDFC, right? And HDFC Bank, which had all the other divisions except home loan, the loan book was 16 lakh crore. So 16 and 7 merge okay, abhi 22-23 lakh crore ho gaya. Now how can you expect a 22 lakh crore ka loan book growing at 25%, right? It can't be possible. If you look at the book of AU Small Finance Bank, such a small book, CSB Bank, such a small book, that's why they can afford to grow at 29-30% YOY. If you look at Equitas also, I'll cover Equitas after this, the loan book grew 36% on a YOY basis. But HDFC Bank is is like a behemoth right now, correct? So it's like the biggest whale, the size of the biggest whale on the planet, right? Itna bada ban chuka hai. So now the point is the bank will grow, but the rate of growth has come down. That is the issue here for shareholders. So what many shareholders miss out is they feel that HDFC Bank has great asset quality. Of course, it has great asset quality. It is the best bank in this country, right? No doubt. So HDFC Bank shareholders will not lose money. Ye aap likh lo, right? It's also one of the banks where you can even like make money over the period of time without even tracking it. But इसमें ज़्यादा पैसा नहीं बनेगा, because if the bank is growing at 13% because of such a big base, shareholder ultimately आगे जाके उसी rate से बढ़ेगा. The other question that people come and ask me is कि like, you know, यहाँ पे cross selling होगा अभी, right? Because HDFC Limited के customers जो है, जो home loan वाले थे, उनको credit card personal loan दिया जाएगा, and HDFC Bank के customers को home loan दिया जाएगा HDFC के. But you can't cross sell your way up to 20%, 25% का growth. 1-2% ऊपर नीचे हो सकता है, right? And plus when you have spread all across the country, right? And again, if you see HDFC Limited, जो 7 lakh crore का loan book था, that particular book was growing at a slower pace than HDFC Bank, right? So when HDFC Bank ने HDFC Limited को ऐसे ले लिया, so HDFC Bank, by the way, grew at 15.8%. So that's another concern, right? Because HDFC Bank, जब मैंने start किया था HDFC Bank को track करना long back, probably almost a decade back, right? It used to grow book at 25%. फिर मैंने 24, 23 करके फिर मैंने देखा कि it used to grow at around 20% in 2018, 19, 20 के आसपास. Now उसके बाद मैंने 18 देखा, 17 देखा. Now I'm seeing growth rate of around 15%. Right? So that means what? Size जितना बड़ा होगा, आपका growth rate उतना घटेगा. And stock market में money chases the rate at which you're growing. I understand the terminology. The rate at which you're growing, not growth. Growth तो हिंदुस्तान यूनिलीवर भी कर रहा है, correct? तो हम क्या हिंदुस्तान यूनिलीवर ले ले और सब कुछ भूल जाए? So if you're targeting a 20-25% in your portfolio on a YOY basis, right? HDFC Bank has no place. Although no recommendations, I don't have it in my portfolio because I have companies which are growing at almost 2x the pace at which HDFC Bank is growing, and also keeping good asset quality. If I only talk about the financial part in my portfolio. So that's the whole point of HDFC Bank. Nothing else to talk about it. I mean, HDFC Bank, the good thing is like the deposits still grows at 19% YOY on that bigger base. But deposits से कुछ नहीं है. Ultimately, at the end of the day, we have to see operating profits किस rate से जा रहा है, ROE कहाँ पे है, ROA कहाँ पे है. Right. And now let's come back to the last bank, Equitas Small Finance Bank. Again, a very small bank. I think the total loan book is around 30,000 crore के आसपास होगा, right? So Equitas Small Finance Bank is again like if I tell you the loan book ka breakup, you'll understand. So microfinance is 20%, microfinance 20% of the book, which means ये जो joint lending group होता है, groups को जो loan देते हैं, that's 20%. And the second is the SME or the small business loan, right, which is I think 36-37% of the book, right? So यही उनका 57-60% हो गया in the SME MSME category, catering to the tier 3, 4, 5, 6 village people, right? ये है उनका main division. फिर इसके बाद they have a vehicle finance loan. इसी कैटेगरी के लोगों को let's say car loan, two wheeler loan, commercial vehicle loans देते हैं, used car loans होते हैं. So that is 25% of the book. And I think they also have a एक home loan का book है which is 10%. Now can you again understand, just like AU, Equitas is also has been doing very well, right? Equitas हो गया, Ujjivan हो गया, and if you look at the NBFCs as well, like Arman, Mass Financials, then you have businesses like all the businesses catering to the SME and the MSME space are doing very, very well, right? तो ये बनता है दूसरी वाली point. और Equitas का अगर आप result देखोगे तो it's the best among the four. So the advances are up 6% on a quarter-on-quarter and 36% on a YOY basis. Deposits also 9% up quarter-on-quarter and 36% YOY. So now you understand, right? Like there are so many. अगर आप देखोगे total financial जितना भी update आया हुआ है, all the updates in Q1FY24, the CASA ratio of all the financials have come down. Why? Because एक तरफ से there is huge demand, right? There is huge demand for credit in the economy, right? दूसरे side में banks have to like fund those demand ना by raising capital. Now उनको अगर CASA नहीं मिल रहा है, so they would go and like would want to raise higher cost deposits, correct? So इसलिए क्या हुआ? If all the banks have chased higher cost deposits, so the CASA percentage of the total book has come down, right? Plus on the other hand, banks also have a high liquidity coverage, right? Like what AU Small Finance Bank said, like the liquidity coverage ratio is 151%. So they're sitting on tons of cash. So what they want to do is they would want to use this cash effectively into lending rather than going for more high cost deposit. Because abhi COVID chala gaya, there's no COVID. There's no point in having an LCR of north of 151%. जबकि RBI regulations के अनुसार LCR has to be around 100%. Right? So of course, use this capital. That's what I keep on constantly saying, right? Like even for housing finance companies, no point in keeping capital adequacy at 50%. इतना cash लेके आप क्या कर रहे हो? Correct? मतलब I understand you need to have a good capital adequacy, right? For any बुरे time के लिए. But बुरे time इतना भी मत सोचो कि आप पूरा पैसे को लेके उसके ऊपर बैठे हो, right? I'm talking about say businesses like Home First Finance, right? जिसका ROE is 15% because the capital adequacy is 49%, right? But again, having said that, we're not talking about Home First. So this is the update here, right? And of course, सबका CASA ratio affected हुआ है because of course people have gone for high cost borrowing money to cater to the demand. So overall, अगर मैं सारे banks का देखो, I think I made another video, right? इससे पहले भी covered 4 companies. Now I covered 4 more banks here. One thing I can tell you कि like the credit cycle is on, right? I mean, सबका अच्छा हो रहा है, right? If let's say for example, if you are not a Bandhan Bank didn't do well, and of course I am like not happy with say for example what's happening with the whole HDFC and the HDFC Bank merger, because यहाँ पे the rate of growth keeps on squeezing with every passing year. Of course, I understand the reason also. Why? Because of the immense size, right? Apart from that, all the other financials have done well. And of course, I'll keep on making videos as and when, you know, the other companies come out, I mean, the other financials come out with their quarterly updates. Thank you.